like that way. But it wasn't no quick adultification, right?
Right.
Outside of what maybe not be spoken about, but you have to do the growth individually. And I think our generation is setting the tone and foundation for that, for the future generation, for my great granddaughter, for my my granddaughter, which is, or grandson, or whatever you want to call it, going down the road. We're establishing that today because we have uprooted so much. We have changed so much. We are more aware, and we're making everybody else around us aware. So that it starts with us. It starts with us, and then everybody else will follow.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So we are at time. So I just want to go over the key takeaways, and this is what I've gathered, and I hope that I'm on the ball here. So it seems like with the Black family dynamic in particular, there needs to be a sense of vulnerability that you can be able to show, not only to your children, to your parents, to each other, to yourself. There's you need to have a strong sense of communication. Again, not only with your children, your spouse, your family, but also with yourself.
Yeah.
And just being able to carry the expectations and hopes and dreams of your family, but also making sure that you're staying true to yourself and who you want to be as a person and how you want to be able to express that and honor that responsibility. And then also with the frame of just being able to pay it forward and say, I'm doing the work to be able to make my mental health and become and truly know my healthiest self, so that I can share that with the world, so that someone else can find their healthiest selves too.
Yeah. And then also, just to add on to your point, us as adults and parents and caretakers, we need to be aware that when we do things for people, it may not be digested the same. So, for example, in high school, my mom made it a point in between football for me to be a patient advocate at the hospital that she worked at. Every morning I would wake up, put on a suit and tie in the summer heat, and I would go to work. Most people would say, oh, you look good, it's great. But for me as a kid, I don't have a summer anymore. So her thought process was, if I make him be a patient advocate, that moves him a step closer to becoming a doctor, whichever college he goes to, and he already sees how the system works. And that's where her mindset was. But for me as a kid, I would see the pain in the patient's faces. I would see the problems that would pop up every other week that weren't being taken care of, remembering that that patient complained about this and this still hasn't been taken care of. I got to see the part of the medical system that didn't work, that people ignored because they were just getting a check and it didn't matter.
Right.
And I came to realize that in order to make change, you're going to have to build something that exists outside of the system. And I also knew that I couldn't say this to my parents, because if you put it in their hands and you let them tell it, it'll be a totally different narrative as to what I need to do. When I realized what I needed to do, there's no plan or script. So as I build it, they'll ask the questions and I'll pick and choose when I answer questions.
Right. I truly believe that you have to set boundaries, no matter who it is, even with yourself. So in that, how can the good people watching today, how can they find you? Can we go down the line and just shout out your Twitter handle? Go ahead. Let me know. How can I find you?
If everybody wants to find me, they're on my page right now. Get Home Safe Hug 'em. I have a website, gethomesafehugem.squarespace.com. This is a Squarespace plug. I feel like perfect Squarespace plug. I wish they were sponsoring this. That would be so great. And yeah, go ahead.
Fuego Monster on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook.
Trey.
Nice.
Sorry. Retro_GT on Instagram and Twitter. You can go to my website, www.uphold318.com. I have 2 podcasts, Everybody Relax on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Free Smoke Podcast on Spotify, and Anchor and Apple. And then also I have a Patreon for Everybody Relax podcast. So
Nice.
Period.
Yep, Marquise Davon across all social media, MarquisDavon. You can catch me mostly in the Twitter streets because good morning to niggas and niggas only.
Niggas
You already know what
only.
it is. But get the bug.
Great coffee cup.
Okay.
I love it. I cannot wait to interact with
Look,
Marquise. I love it.
But also, you can listen to one of my podcasts as well, the Rational Anger Podcast, across all streaming platforms, and also Dear RDG, if you want to learn a little bit more about Reading, Pennsylvania from the Black American perspective. Other than that, I got some Linktree stuff, so you can see all the rest of the stuff that I do as well. We out here.
Nice. Well, thank you guys so much. And we
Also,
got one
real
more plug.
quick, I am helping out with another event in conjunction with this one, the Irresistible Revolution, where we're talking about ending Asian hate as well as issues of Black Lives Matter. So, if you want to know how to help out,
It's
that's going to
coming.
be a place to go too, because we're going to have lessons, fire spinning, live DJ sets, a lot of stuff for everyone to just digest and integrate what you need to know.
Yeah, you
For
gotta
sure.
put in the work. Gotta put in the work.
All right, well, thanks for coming, everyone.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
All right, moderator, you get to end the live. This is yours. That was a hell of a talk.
Thank you guys so much.
Were you knitting the whole time?
On and off.
Bruh. But yo, every time I looked over, I was like, yo, she is focused. Like,
Well, now it's literally just now because I'm getting to the end and I'm almost up yours. Now I'm like, scared we're gonna run out. So I'm like,